name is April Foster. I'm a lay salvationist from the Kenya East Territory, and I have been serving overseas for 23 years with the Salvation Army. And that's been a fantastic privilege of ministry in some very diverse places. I've been in Kenya for 17 years, and we've really seen some very good developments linked to a concept called Sally Ann, a fair trade umbrella of the Salvation Army, which is really trying to promote trade that brings hope to people. And this initiative started from very local work with women in Bangladesh, and from that experience, the Salvation Army really saw an opportunity to link products from different parts of the world, that many of which were traditional handicrafts and things that people were already doing that were very beautiful, but were expressions of their own culture. So in the past year, we've been working with over 250 women from 4 different divisions in Kenya, producing products that are of interest for export. With these kinds of products, there's something beautiful that can cross over from one culture to another and also have a story behind it. So when you buy a product like this from Sally Ann or from Kenya, you can know the story of how this is really helping women to change their lives and the lives of their families and their communities. The ways that the core mission of the Salvation Army is expressed in these groups where women are meeting. Often the officers, the Corps officers' wives who are part of those groups with women are sitting together with them. They're ministering to them in a very natural way as they're talking about the concerns that they have in their family while they're sitting making products. And those opportunities really become almost like counseling for sharing different experiences, for sharing from the Word of God, words of encouragement to each other. If someone has lost a family member, the group will go and visit and be part of that with them. If someone's celebrating the birth of a child or a wedding, they're together with that. Many of the groups are involved in doing home visits to each other on a regular basis, and even to other neighbors who are in need of that kind of encouragement in their own home. So it's not just expecting women to gather at the Salvation Army Corps to make products, but they're really seeing that their ministry is beyond that to other members of the group, but also members of the wider community who are in need of that kind of comfort and care and concern. That is such a big part of who we are as a Salvation Army, particularly through our core ministry all over the world. I'll tell you the story of Christine. Christine was in a very difficult relationship. She had 2 children. She was HIV positive. She and her husband as well. They were both quite sick for some time. There were a lot of family dynamics, a lot of blame around those issues connected to HIV. And this was going on over the course of several years. And every time we would meet Christine, I think we would just feel like, what can we do? What's going to really turn things around for this woman? And it was around that time that the Dorcas Bead program started, and Christine was one of the first members of the group. And she was still regaining her strength, but making the beads was something that she could do even while she was at home. And if you saw Christine now, she's one of the leaders of Dorcas Bead. She's full of confidence. Her sons are both in secondary school, and she's been able to support them in that way. She dresses with a style that's like her own individual kind of trademark. And every time someone comes to visit Dorcas Bead, she's usually the one who takes them around and really explains how this has changed her life and how it's changed the life of her family.
This place, as you can see, is the place where we varnish the beads. We usually have clear wood varnish. This wood varnish is what we use. This is like 4 liters, and after the paper has been rolled and it is put in a string, we then put in the varnish, and then we put on gloves and varnish like this, and we leave it to dry for 8 hours.
I had one woman tell me for the first time she was able to invite her mother to visit and pay her bus fare to come and do that, and they hadn't been able to meet for quite some time because there was no money for the transport. And when women begin to tell these stories that they're saving, they're planning for the future, they're thinking about the things that they can do to improve their lives and really beginning to think beyond the day-to-day, then I think you can begin to see how something like this can really have long-term impact on the way that women and their families and their communities begin to think about themselves and think about their future. The Salvation Army in the Eastern Territory is such a strong supporter of mission around the world. Everything that we can do that connects us to others in genuine ways, in addition to sharing the financial resources that we have, are part of really that expression of God's blessing in our lives, but also how God is blessing the world through what we do together.